Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Los Angeles Lakers Daily, where we post daily Lakers content. If that is something that you guys enjoy, this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Today, I'm going to be real with you. We have a pretty unrealistic trade. I highly doubt that this ends up happening, but we have a tweet from the NBA Central that Houston discussed a trade package centered around John Wall and Christian Wood with the Lakers, per ESPN's Dave McMenamin. There was a message that the Lakers were not willing to take on more money, so that kind of gives me the feeling that they had John Wall on the contract, obviously, along with maybe like Eric Gordon. Christian Wood is a very cheap player, and we're about to get into this here, but we've been seeing all over the reports the last week. If you've been watching Lakers rumors, Lakers news, that type of thing, there's been a ton of stuff flowing the last couple of days, last week or so, about revisited Russell Westbrook and John Wall swap trades. Here's the legitimacy, here's the reality of it. You're going to have to include a first-round pick. It's going to have to be there. I know John Wall, Russell Westbrook, they're in very similar boats, but John Wall kind of has the leverage here because he didn't play this past season, and Russell Westbrook just didn't work out with the Lakers. So do expect that to make just like a ton of news all offseason. But, being real with you guys, I don't think this trade happens in any way, shape, or form. I highly doubt Houston does this. I highly doubt it, unless a couple things. They're not that far-fetched. It really isn't. Number one, so let's get into the trade. John Wall and Christian Wood would be going on the Lakers, which would, they're already Lakers. They're already favorites to me to get out of the West next season. Just get healthy. AD, specifically you, get healthy and figure out a different point guard. John Wall fits that criteria, and Christian Wood, you bring in a fourth threat. So your offense has four threats. 4 stars, 4 borderline stars. I know John Wall, Christian Wood aren't maybe necessarily there anymore, but for John Wall, he's not there. Christian Wood hasn't gotten there yet, but they're still great players. The Rockets would receive Russell Westbrook, Talen Horton-Tucker, a 2027 first-round pick and second-round pick. So the way I see it is you'd have to have a couple of different things. I think number one, you'd have to have the you'd have to have the Rockets. Like, they probably wouldn't come out and say this, but not want to re-sign Christian Wood. So basically, Christian Wood, he's going to get offered at least $20-25 million. If he's got another year left on his contract, he's in his prime, entering his prime. He's had a really solid last 2 seasons. He's not great defensively, but I think personally he's not a number one option on a team. I think it's like a Kevin Love situation where he'd just be the icing on the cake. He's a hell of a basketball player, can play some defense, but mainly there for his offense. And just his versatility adds another threat. But Houston would basically have to just kind of already know he's on like a $13 million a year contract, so he's going to want it doubled at least. He wants max. We'll see if he gets max. Houston would have to be like, yeah, we know we're not paying him. No matter how good of a season he has next year, we don't want to pay Christian Wood. We're trading him regardless. And number two, you need number 1 and 2. You need both of these to happen. Number 2, this probably is the most important piece, more realistic. Houston's eyeing Talen Horton-Tucker, and they're like licking their chops at it. They're like, yep, Talen's the guy. Houston basically doesn't really have a set-in-stone small forward. They're kind of running with Jayshawn Tate, KJ Martin Jr., but neither of those are really going to be franchise guys. So maybe they view Talen Horton-Tucker as a great, promising potential player. This is a guy who has dropped 40. Like, Talen's got talent. I think he's going to have a very similar season. If he were to leave the Lakers or get traded from the Lakers, I think he'd have a very similar bounce-back season like Kyle Kuzma did this year on the Wizards. I think it's just playing with LeBron. I think it's playing in that offense that isn't meant for role players. It's just not meant for role players. It's not meant for bench role players especially. So Houston would have to be very big on Talen. They'd want to pick, and they wouldn't want to sign Christian Wood. So you need all 3 of those, and I don't think it's impossible, but I don't really view it as likely. I would put it at like probably a 1 in 4 chance. It's not too bad, but it's not great. That's it for today, man. Let me know down below in the comment section. Do you think this trade would happen? I don't think a single Lakers fan would kibosh this trade. I really have a hard time believing that. So hit the like button, hit that sub button, drop a comment down below, and I'll see you guys later.